الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. يقول الله عز وجل: والذين اتخذوا مسجدا ضرارا وكفرا وتفريقا بين المؤمنين وإرصادا لمن حارب الله ورسوله من قبل ولا يحلفن إن أردنا إلا الحسنى والله يشهد إنهم لكاذبون. We continue, inshallah, where we stopped. Here, there was one hadith left on this chapter that I wanted to mention. It's on the authority of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu anhu. عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: يقول الله عز وجل: إن عبدا صححت له جسمه ووسعت عليه في المعيشة تمضي عليه 5 أعوام لا يفد إلي لمحروم أو لمحروم. رواه ابن حبان في صحيحه والبيهقي. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu anhu, he reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. What is this hadith? Hadith Qudsi. Qudsi. Remember, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reports directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is called Hadith Qudsi. Inna abdan sahhahtu lahu jismahu. A slave, a servant that I have given good health to. وَوَسَّعْتُ عَلَيْهِ فِي الْمَعِيشَةِ. And I have given him vast amounts of livelihood, meaning I have given him good amount of wealth. A good amount of wealth. Good health, good wealth. تَمْضِي عَلَيْهِ 5 أَعْوَامٍ. 5 years pass by him. لَا يَفِدُ إِلَيَّ. And he does not come to me, meaning he does not come to my house. He doesn't come for Hajj or Umrah. Verily he is la mahroom. Verily he is a deprived person. Verily he is a deprived person. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the health. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the wealth. But you refuse to go to his house. You refuse to go to his house. So here, every 5 years, it should be a person who has good health and good wealth, it should be your custom to go. Now, the ulama have explained in this hadith that it is only mustahab. It is only recommended to go. It is not wajib, it is not fard, it is only recommended to go every 5 years to perform hajj or to perform umrah at the minimum. And if there is vast amount of drought, if there is vast amount of poverty in that state, then it is more preferable that the person spends that money that he was gonna go for hajj after that 5 years. He spends that money on the poor people in his own country or the country that is afflicted. And inshallah, he'll get the same reward of the hajj. The topic of today, inshallah, is Masjidul Haram, the virtue of Masjidul Haram, the excellence of Salah in Masjidul Haram. عن جابر بن عبد الله رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: صلاة في مسجدي أفضل من 1000 صلاة فيما سواه إلا المسجد الحرام وصلاة في المسجد الحرام أفضل من 100,000 صلاة فيما سواه. Jabir radiyallahu anhu, one of the close companions, one of the companions that narrates so many ahadith, one of the prolific narrators of hadith, he reports Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, prayer, salah, inside my masjid is 1,000 times better than any other masjid, except Masjidul Haram. And salah in Masjidul Haram, in front of the Kaaba, is 100,000 times better than any other place in the world, any other masjid in the world. So, here in this narration is in Ahmad, Musnad Imam Ahmad. This narration is very authentic. It mentions 1,000. Everything is multiplied by, Salah is multiplied by 1,000. Imam Ghazali and many other ulama that came after, they said every single action, not just Salah, the dhikr made in that place is multiplied by 1,000 times in Masjidul Nabawi, 100,000 times in Makkah Mukarramah. Likewise, dhikr, tilawatul Quran, nafal Salah, anything that you do, fasting, anything that you do over there, any action of reward that you do, any sadaqah that you do will be multiplied by 1,000 times in Masjidul Nabawi or 100,000 times in Masjidul Haram. Allahu Akbar. So this hadith itself must urge us, must encourage us to go again and again to Masjidul Haram. Why? Because this virtue you'll never be able to achieve in your local masjids. It's not possible. Okay, this is something that encourages us to always go back and forth to Masjidul Haram as well as Masjidul Nabi. Masjidul Nabi we go, why? Because of the love. Without him, there's no Jannah, there's no Islam. Without him, you cannot enter Jannah. Jannah is haram for you. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Without Muhammadur Rasulullah, no Jannah, bhai. No Jannah. So, it is only because of our love for Rasulullah, it is only because of the mercy that he showed us to bring us this beautiful deen, to show us how to live like human beings. Allahu Akbar. So, all actions are multiplied by 1,000 times in Masjidul Nabawi and 100,000 times in Masjidul Haram. وروى البزار عن عائشة رضي الله عنها قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أنا خاتم الأنبياء ومسجدي خاتم مساجد الأنبياء. Allahu Akbar. I am the final, I am the last of the prophets, of the Anbiya, of all the prophets that came, 124,000 approximately. I am the last of the last. There's no other prophet to come after me. Wa masjidi, this masjid of mine, Masjidul Nabawi, is the last and final masjid of any other prophet. There's no other masjid to come of any other prophet. Ahaqqul masajidi an yazur. It is the most rightful masjid. The masjid that has the most right upon every single Muslim is this masjid of mine. Why? Because it was built by who? Rasulullah's blessed hands. Rasulullah's blessed hands. Mubarak hands. This is the most rightful masjid that must be visited. That must be visited. وَتُشَدُّ إِلَيْهِ الرَّوَاحِلِ, and vigorous journeys that have extreme level of hardships must be gone through to go to these masajid. Al-Masjidul Haram wa Masjidi and this Masjidul Haram, Makkah, Mukarramah, plus Masjidul Nabawi. وصلاة في مسجدي أفضل من صلاة ألف صلاة فيما سواه من المساجد إلا المسجد الحرام. We mentioned this in the previous narration, that the salah in my masjid is 1,000 times better than any other masjid in the world except Masjidul Haram. Except Masjidul Haram. People here on the commentary, it is mentioned that many people have a misunderstanding that if I go to a certain mosque, the reward for my salah will be much more. The reward for a certain mosque will be much more. This is wrong. This is completely wrong, even for Jummu'ah salah as well. Okay, even for Jummu'ah salah as well. Now, I have to explain this when I say this because you might misunderstand me. There is one thing called the Jami'ah Masjid. Jami'ah Masjid is where the whole, so back in the days, how it was they used to live in villages. So there would be one grand mosque that everyone would come to pray the Jumu'ah Salah. There wouldn't be any other masjids at all. Like all the other masjids would be like musallas, like tiny masjids. Okay? They'll be like musallas, just to pray your 5 times salah together in jama'ah, because of the reward of jama'ah. 27 times more. Each salah is multiplied 27 times more in every single jama'ah that you pray in congregation. Now this Jami'ah Masjid, of course, has slight superiority in reward, okay? But not individually, not specifically. Is that understood? Not specifically that masjid is more superior than any other masjids. Okay? Understand this well. Understand this very well. Now, if you are choosing between this mosque and that mosque and this mosque and that mosque, there's not much superiority nowadays, because that's not the case. It's not the case where everyone gathers in one masjid all together at one place, because we live in cities. So this concept doesn't make sense anymore for us. Now, لا تشد إليه الرواحل refers to you not making specific journeys to a specific mosque thinking that there's extra rewards in there. For example, you go to Turkey, you want to go and see the Sulaimani Mosque. You can go and see it, you can go and pray in it, no problem, there's nothing wrong with it. But now, to go specifically with a specific intention that I will be rewarded in a specific fashion, where Rasulullah did not say, that I will be rewarded extra because of the extra journey and extra hardship that I go through to go and pray inside that masjid, this is wrong. This is prohibited in hadith. Okay? You would not get extra specific rewards if you are visiting that place specifically. But, of course, the reward is there for normal general salah that you're going to pray in a general mosque, in a normal mosque. All mosques have equal reward in that sense. Then another point that is mentioned inside the commentary is Masjid of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He says himself in a hadith that even if it were to be extended, of course we know back in the days Masjid al-Nabawi was quite small. Okay, the old Masjid al-Nabawi, if you go inside Masjid al-Nabawi, you'll see like the carpets are even different in the area that the old Masjid al-Nabawi was. Whereas now it's been extended. Now millions, mashallah, over 1 million people can pray inside Masjid al-Nabawi. Now here Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, even if my masjid was extended until Yemen, all of it still would be considered as my masjid, and everyone will get the same reward. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Umar radiallahu anhu, he says, even if I extend the masjid, meaning Masjid al-Nabawi, until the deserts, you will still be rewarded exactly the same as you are praying inside Masjid al-Nabawi. So, don't think that just because you're praying in the extension part, you're going to get less rewards. No, you're going to get the exact same rewards of praying in the old part of the Masjid al-Nabawi as well. وعن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه. And this is a very good point that we realize from this hadith, that Rasulullah knew that this ummah is going to increase to such an extent where the small Masjid al-Nabawi that was built by himself and his companions will not be enough and will have to be extended. So this is a foreseeing of Rasulullah of the future. He knows many things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told him. وعن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال من صلى في مسجدي 40 صلاة لا تفوته صلاة كتبت له براءة من النار وبراءة من العذاب وبراءة من النفاق. Whoever prays, so whoever goes to Madinah must make sure that you stay there for at least 8 days. At least 8 days. Why? Because in one day, how many salahs? 5. 5 times 8 is? 40. 40 salahs. Here Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says 40. Whoever prays 40 salahs, 40 fard salahs in congregation in Masjid al-Nabawi together with the Imam, 40 salahs consecutively. The condition is consecutively without miss. You cannot miss. You cannot even miss one. Otherwise you have to start all over again. Okay? So at least for 8 days, make sure you go, when you go to Umrah, you go for at least 8 days and never miss a salah. Never miss a salah with congregation. And you will get the 3 certificates. 3 certificates, Allahu Akbar. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, Bara'atun minan nar. You get the protection from the fire. That's first certificate. Whoever prays 40 salahs in Masjid al-Nabawi consecutively, together, one after the other, 40 salahs. Freedom from the fire. First certificate. Second certificate, Bara'atun min al-adhab. Freedom from the punishment. Punishment of qabr, punishment of the day of judgment, punishment of Jahannam. And the last one, Bara'atun min al-nifaq. Hypocrisy. Munafiq. To be a munafiq. Everyone always fears. Even the greatest of Sahaba, Abu Bakr, Umar radiallahu anhum, and all the Sahaba as well, they used to fear that, am I really doing it for myself, for my sincerity, for the sake of Allah, or am I doing it for something else sometimes? Am I doing it for show? Am I doing it for name? Am I doing it for fame? Do you understand? So, this is another certificate that you get. These are the 3 certificates. Number 1, freedom from the fire. Number 2, freedom from any type of punishment. And number 3, freedom from any type of hypocrisy. So inshallah, your name will definitely not be on the list of the munafiqun, the hypocrites. Here, the next hadith is narrated in Ibn Majah. Now this hadith has slight weakness compared to the one that I mentioned previously in Musnad Imam Ahmad, and it's also mentioned in Muslim. In this narration it mentions وَصَلَاتٌ. So here, وعنه رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلاة الرجل في بيته بصلاته. Anyone that prays in his house only gets the reward of one salah. Anyone that prays with the jama'ah in the masjid gets the reward of 27 salahs, isn't it? Multiplied by 27. The next part, وَصَلَاةٌ فِي الْمَسْجِدِ الَّذِي يُجْمَعُ فِيهِ بِخَمْسَمِائَةِ صَلَاةٍ. This is the point that I was talking about, that back in the days they used to have in the village they used to have like a Jami'ah masjid. Jami'ah masjid where all the people used to gather together in one place. This Jami'ah masjid, whoever prays in this Jami'ah masjid, he gets the reward of 500 salahs. Multiply, every salah is multiplied by, meaning Jummu'ah salah is multiplied by 500 Jummu'ahs. وَصَلَاتٌ فِي الْمَسْجِدِ الْأَقْصَى بِخَمْسِينَ أَلْفِ صَلَاةٍ. This is another narration I told you, there's a slight weakness. That in Masjidul Aqsa, whoever prays in Masjidul Aqsa gets the reward of 50,000 salahs. And وَصَلَاتٌ فِي مَسْجِدِي بِخَمْسِينَ أَلْفِ as well. Whoever prays in my masjid, meaning the Masjidul Nabawi, also gets 50,000 times. وَصَلَاتٌ فِي الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ, everyone knows that, 100,000 times in Masjidul Haram. Now, many scholars have said this narration is slightly weaker. Many other scholars have said Allah increases as much rewards as a person's intention is dependent upon. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. If you have more good intentions, you'll get more rewards. If you have one single intention, you'll have one single reward. In that one type of reward. If you have 10 types of good intentions to do one small action, you'll get 10 types of different rewards. All depends on your intention. Then, وعن سهل بن سعد رضي الله عنه قال اختلف رجلان في المسجد الذي. Inshallah, we'll carry on this next Jummu'ah, inshallah. This is regarding Masjid Quba. Masjid Quba. What was Masjid Quba? Anyone have any understanding? Masjid Quba? Allahu Akbar. That's the first masjid. It's the first masjid that Rasulullah built with his own hands. With his own hand, he placed the first stone of the masjid. The first masjid he built after making the hijrah. When he made the hijrah, this Masjid Quba is such a mosque that Rasulullah ﷺ used to visit every single Saturday. Every Saturday. And he also says there's a time in Masjid Quba that du'as are accepted. And many of the ulama said this was Wednesday between Asr and Maghrib. This is why ulama, they gather upon this mosque between Asr and Maghrib on a Wednesday. Allahu Akbar. Another point that I will mention inshallah is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he prayed 14 days. So after making hijrah from Makkah to Madinah, he prayed Qasr Salah. What is Qasr Salah? When you're on journey, what do we do? The 4 rakat salahs turn into two rakats, isn't it? So every single salah, for example, Dhuhr Salah, Asr Salah and Isha Salah. Fajr stays the same, Fajr is 2 rakats. Maghrib stays the same, Maghrib is 3. Can you split 3 into half? No. So 3 stays 3 and Fajr stays Fajr. Dhuhr, Asr and Isha, the Fard is cut into half. Only 2 rakats. Only 2 rakats Fard Salah. Here Rasulullah prayed for 14 days. All those salahs which are 4 rakats, he prayed as 2 rakats for 14 days until he moved on to Masjidun Nabawi. Jazakumullahu khair. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to go Umrah and Hajj again and again, to just go and seek this reward, to go and seek the blessings of Haram Sharif, to go and seek the blessings of Madinah Munawwara, especially visiting the grave of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He is, without him there is no success. There is no success in this dunya nor in your akhirah. In this dunya we would be completely jahils. We will be completely ignorant and living like animals, living like non-Muslims. We wouldn't know left from right. We wouldn't know what to do. We wouldn't even know how to do istinja inside the toilet. We wouldn't even know how to clean ourselves inside the toilet if it wasn't for Rasulullah. Rasulullah is like a father. Without him, there's no success. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna. Without ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah, there's no Jannah. Jannah is haram. Jannah is haram upon the person that doesn't believe in La ilaha illallah. He believes in the first part, but he doesn't believe in the last part. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to go and make ziyarah and to go and perform umrah again and again, inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا بارك الله فيكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك